welcome back to strategic management class. So we are discussing about organizational strategy implementation. In the previous class, we discussed about how structure should be done in order to follow the new strategy. We have seen various kinds of structure like simple structure, functional structure, matrix structure, etc. So it is something like this. Strategy is followed by structure. Okay, so if it is a new strategy, there might be changes in the structure. Okay, either it will become like a flat structure, or it will go from simple to a functional structure, or from functional structure it may become a multidivisional or matrix structure. Okay, so now we move on from a structure to the next topic, which is strategic business units. So SBU in short form, and the full form is strategic business unit. Large companies normally manage quite different business, each requiring its own strategy. So strategic business units means a business sometime when they want to like diversify, or in the same product they want to do some uh, changes and find a new market, then they may have an option to go for strategic business units. Usually these strategic business units will operate like in a parallel manner to that original corporation companies. uh, it is a fully functional unit of business, and it has its own vision and direction. Typically, a strategic business unit operates as a separate unit, but it is also an important part of the company. So it's a part of the company, but its operation will be little bit, I mean, its operation will be quite different from the main business operation. But it reports to the headquarters about its operational status. It is like an independent body. It has what do you say, reporting structure to the headquarters. So in order to be called it as a SPU or strategic business unit, it has got three unique characteristics. First one, it is a single business or a collection of related business that can be planned separately from the rest of the company. So it will be like a different, or it will be separate from the rest of the company. It has its own set of competitors. So the competitors for the corporation company may not be the competitors for the SBU, because since it is operating in a different platform, something like that. So even the competitors has its different, and it has its own competitors. It has a manager responsible for strategic planning and profit performance, who control most of the factors affecting the profit. So, in terms of its day-to-day operation and strategy, the SBU will have their own manager. This manager will be, I mean, responsible for not only the day-to-day operation, but also in maintaining the profit of the particular SBU. The purpose of identifying the company's strategic business unit is to develop a separate strategies and assign appropriate funding. So the main objective, or the goal to for a business, a corporation or organization to have a SBU is to have their own or separate strategy, so that what happens, the fund allocation can be done, okay, depending upon how successful that particular SBU is giving profits. So management of SBU operate as an independent organization with a specific focus on target markets. So as we have seen earlier, the operation of this SBU is is not dependent, and it is independent of its own from the main main business, but only the reporting will be done to the main. The SBU will have its own vision, its own mission, and have their own strategy. They will have their own set of competitors large enough to maintain internal divisions such as finance, HR, and so forth. So they also not only have their vision, separate objective and goals, but the SBU also have their own internal department like production, finance, HR, marketing, strategy department, etc. Again, management of SBU. A strategic business unit is a profit center which focuses on product offerings under its a particular market. So this SBU will be operated as a profit center, not like a cost center, which we will be studying about profit center and cost center in the later slides. So it will be operated as a profit center, which is focuses on a particular or a specific product offering. Product offering means the products which are offered to a particular customer or target groups, and it offers to a particular market segment. Say for instance, a particular operating business is operating in India. They may start their SBU, say in Dubai. Okay, and the same product or little bit changes in the product, they may offer that to the people in Dubai. So that is what like a SBU. That's an example for SBU. SBU typically have a discrete marketing plan, analysis of competition, and marketing campaign, even though they may be part of a large business entity. So what happens, like we seen in the earlier, SB have their own marketing plan, and this one is separate from the main company, and how they analysis the competitor, who are the competitors, how they fight with the competitors, and the marketing campaign, like how they promote, plan their promotions, their sales, their advertisements, their products, and the marketing campaign, everything they have their own, even though they are a part of a big business. So here is a classic example of SBU. So this picture will give you a very clear-cut idea of a strategic business unit. All of you know the electronic company LG, and the logo life is good. Uh, they have their own appliances. They have their own refrigerator, washing machine, and all those kind of home appliances. They actually, after some time, they penetrated somewhere in 2000. They penetrated into electronic items, and then of course now they have a good market share of items for their electronic things like smartphones, uh, tablets, notebook, even they have their own laptop, all those stuff. So what happens, their main business LG is the main corporate business is household items like these kind of electrical appliances. The one of their SBU is electronics, which comprises, as I mentioned, which comprises of tablets, smartphones, notebook, etc. So this is their SBU. So their operation of this product will be separate from this. The set of competitors for this electronic item will be different from that of the home appliances, and then there will be a profit center depending upon their share of profit, the percentage of profit. The LG will allocate the resources to this electronic. If this like keep increasing market share, then the LG will approve more and more funds to develop this and make it as a successful one. Even the manager who are operating will be different from this one. They have their own, this LG electronics will have their own vision, the mission and goals, everything they have their own. So the For home appliances, LG, which is a main company, the SBU is it's a LG Electronics. So this will give you a clear-cut idea of how a business has its own SBU, what is the purpose of SBU, all those idea. Now this is like a sample model of like how SBU units operate. So at corporate level, the organization, like you can imagine here LG, then they have different SBU, like business level here SBU, then operational level business activities. Okay, so this is how it flows. So what is the advantage of SBU? Focus allows for the organization to concentrate on target audience and provide cost leadership to the company. So they, like if you have seen the previous one, like LG have its own electronics as an SBU, like smartphones, tablet, and all those things. So that will only focus on a particular audience who are using, not necessary they should use their home appliances. They are just using their phones, those audience who are using the phones, and this gives a company the cost leadership. They can be a cost leader. In other words, they can give a product in a very competitive price to their target customer. That's one of the advantage of SPU. Then differentiation. It allows a company to meet the distinct needs of target audience by supplying product and services that are valued by those specific users. So what happens, they may differ from their main business, and then they can target to a particular target group, and then fulfill their needs and wants by giving something different features or product which the other competitors don't give. So SBU will give a competitive advantage to your main business through the strategy of differentiation. So that's the other advantage. Then uh, provided through ability to offer more values to your customers. So what happens? This help to SBU helps to give different kind of values or more values to the target customers. This will play a layer after layer of a competitive advantage. So if they are like want to offer that based on their main business, that may not be possible, because the main business will only follow the vision mission. So if they want to do something like different, so they can go for the strategic business unit and make that as a competitive advantage. Own separate ability to craft industry specific strategy as it relates to their functions, help to understand which business activities contribute the most value. So these are the some of the advantages of SPU. They enable the ability to make decisions based on resources and efficiency. So here we discuss some of the advantages. Then we see the factors determining the success of the SBU. So what really makes the SBU a successful one? The degree of autonomy given to each SBU managers. That is a degree of freedom, degree of independence the corporate or the headquarters is giving to their SBU manager to take their own decisions, form their own strategies, and then operate in such a way and get resources. So if this is, fulfilled by the headquarters to the strategic business unit, then that will be one of the important factor that determines the success of the SBU. The second one, the degree to which SBU shares functional programs and facilities with the other SBUs. So a company, not necessarily they should have one. If they have several SBUs, if these SBUs among themselves, if they like shares the functional programs, okay, then what happens? That will also determine the SBUs, because this is will be a cost effective way. Okay, one is to increase the market share, Okay, thereby increase the profit. Another way, by sharing the functional programs and facilities with the other SBU and reduce the cost. So when you want to increase the profit, it's not enough you just increase the number of customers, thereby the profit, but also a business should find ways to reduce the cost. So this is one way to reduce the cost. The manner in which the corporation is because of new changes in the market. So what happens? When a particular market, a target market, there is changing, and it is of course we know it's like dynamically it changes. So what happens? It's easy for the SBU to change its what you say, either target group or change the understand the needs and wants of the particular target group, and change that, bring that change and inculcate in the product, so that what happens, they are in the with the market trend. So this is possible if our SBUs, and if this is done properly by the SBU managers, then that will be one of the important determining factors for the success of the SBU. Then we go to the establishing profit centers, okay, by the business. So what is a profit center? A profit center is a branch or division of a company that directly adds or is expected to add to the entire organization bottom line. We in the earlier slide discussed about SBU. A SBU is usually considered as a profit center. In business, we have two things called. One is a profit center, a center which creates revenue by doing sales or by selling a product or services. There is also one more thing called like a cost center. Cost center means it's like a departments or centers which incur cost. These centers usually support the profit centers, like a marketing department, or what do you say, production department. They cannot themselves make a revenue, but accounts department, but they, what happens, they support the profit centers, okay, so that profit centers can really do businesses. So here we see about the profit center. It is treated as a separate standalone business responsible for generating its revenues and earning. Its profit and losses are calculated separately on accounting balance sheet. So what happens? A profit center can be considered or may be considered as a different entity from the main organization. So this one profit center was coined by the famous management person or management guru called Peter Drucker, and this term was coined. Profit center was coined in the year 1945. A profit center is a branch or a division of company that directly adds to the corporation bottom line profitability. It, this one, adds a profit to the corporation company. A profit center is treated as a separate business with the revenues accounted for on standalone basis and balance it. So what happens? A profit center, since it is considered as a separate entity, so what happens? They have their own like balance sheet, like profit and loss account. Everything will be done on a separate basis. The opposite of profit center is a cost center, a corporate division or department that does not generate revenue. As we have seen earlier, the quite opposite of a profit center is a cost center. As I mentioned, it is a part of a corporate division, and this one usually will not generate any revenue. This one incur only cost. So this is like quite opposite, where the profit center creates revenue and thereby profit, and the cost center will not create any revenue. It only incur cost, but it is necessary to support the profit center because this is a facilitator. So profit centers are crucial to determining which units are the most and least profitable within an organization. So this will determine which departments or unit which is creating more profit and which is creating less profit and which is not creating any profit. They function by differentiating between certain revenue generating activities. This facilitates a more accurate analysis and cross comparison among the divisions. So what happens? Why this profit centers are analyzed? Because the business or headquarters will know which departments or centers is creating more revenue and which one is not creating more revenue. Uh, the manager or executives in charge of profit centers have decision making authority related to the product pricing and the operating expenses. So it is the managers in the profit center, like SPU, they are given the autonomy or freedom to decide the price. That's a plan, the marketing mix, and then they have the authority to do take care of the operational cost. They also face considerable pressure as they must ensure that the division sales from the product or services outweigh the cost. That profit center produces profit year after year, either by increasing revenue or decreasing expenses, or both. So what happens? The managers in this profit center are expected to maintain profit and reduce cost, and every year the percentage of profit they need to produce will increase, keep on increasing. So they have more pressure on them to increase what do you say increase their profit and reduce the cost and both. Okay, so that's all for today class. We'll meet with the next topic in the next class. Thank you.